This time, we will give you a tour of Presidential Archives Exhibition Hall. Welcome to Presidential Archives, many historical records that have been accumulated since the establishment of the Korean government in 1948. Presidential Archives preserve documents, pictures, videos, administrative artifacts, and gifts of each presidential tenure and provide utilization service. With the enactment of the Act on the Management of Presidential Archives, Presidential Archives started operation in 2016. The Presidential Archives building was opened in Sejong City and have provided service since then. Presidential Archives are a first-story building with two-level basement. It is located in the boundary of Sejong Government Complex and surrounding natural environment. Presidential Archives consist of the main building and an exhibition hall. The main building embodies soft curve of Taebuk, while the cube-shaped exhibition hall represents the seal of the state and has a symbolic meaning of keeping presidential records. Let me explain about the exhibition hall of Presidential Archives. Under the theme of meeting with the presidents, the exhibition hall displays documents, pictures, videos, and gifts of presidents of many generations. The first floor symbolizes the former presidents of the Republic of Korea, who you can indirectly meet. The second floor exhibits gifts the former presidents received. The third floor is an experience space of the presidential office, the meeting room, and the briefing room. The fourth floor displays exhibits under the theme of authority and role of the president. You could understand the leadership of presidents on the fourth floor. Then, let's start the tour from the first floor. When you enter the hall, you will see a sloping wall. On the large slope wall, there are media facade images that symbolize presidential records. The images signify that presidential records are transferred from the Blue House to Presidential Archives for their preservation and management.
대통령 기록관은 2016년도에 세종에 개관하게 되었고요. 대통령들이 재임 기간 동안 생산한 문서나 사진, 동영상, 행정박물들을 전시해놨습니다. 총 지상 4층, 지하 2층으로 되어 있습니다. 먼저 1층은 대통령 상징관, 2층은 대통령 지금까지 받은 선물이 전시되어 있고요. 3층은 대통령 체험관, 그리고 4층은 대통령 역사관입니다.
Exhibitions at Presidential symbol are inaugural speech and other address, through which you can meet the presidents. We extracted the most often used keywords from inaugural speech and other addresses that reflected each president's philosophy of governmental management and created the image with the extracted keywords. This means that philosophy of each president is reflected on Presidential Archives, which in turn make up the image of the president. The exhibition flow of Exhibition Hall starts from the first floor and goes up to the fourth floor and then goes down. Let's go up to the fourth floor. The fourth floor displays the leadership of presidents. You can understand the role and authority of president as the leader of the Republic of Korea and confirm their commitment. The exhibit shows changes in the Korean presidential system, presidential role and responsibility stipulated under the Constitution, and includes space where you can experience presidential election process. This place elaborates changes in Korean presidential system and characteristics of each administration. The most common type of government in the world is the presidential system. When you push each governmental system, the map shows countries that adopted the concerning governmental system with explanation. This place introduces authority and responsibility of president stipulated under the Constitution. The president has responsibility of leading the cabinet meeting, conducting summit diplomacy, awarding orders of merit, commanding the national army, appointing and dismissing public officials, and working for unification. Exhibits are about authority and roles of the president. This is the transcript of the first Constitution. The first Constitution is important records that show the identity of the Republic of Korea. The first Constitution guarantees liberty as the basis for rights and foundation of the Republic of Korea and stipulates separation of three powers and liberal democracy. The Honor Award is the medal presented by the President to a person who accomplished exceptionally outstanding achievement of national or international significance. As the head of the state, the President carries out diplomatic activities through overseas visits. This space is for AV materials that show diplomatic activities of the former presidents. This space explains the presidential role as the commander of the National Army. Exhibits include pictures of reviewing the Honored Guard, videos, and flags used by the Honored Guard. These pictures show the former presidents appointing the Prime Minister and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. In this space, videos introduce unification policies of the former presidents. You can watch the videos by plugging the RFID of the president you choose.
북한에서 당면한 사명치고를 밝히려고 합니다. 첫째, 우리는 북한에 의한 어떠한 무력 때문에 결코 연나가지 않겠다는 것을 확실히 선언하는 바입니다.
민족의 자주적 역량으로 행정과 분단을 극복하고
So far, we learned about the authority and roles of the president through various exhibits. Then, where do these authority and roles come from? The president of the Republic of Korea is determined by the people. Let's move to the election corner. This exhibit will help you to understand how the people, the sovereign of the Republic of Korea, elect the president. Through the exhibits, you can see the changes in promotional posters, balloting devices, and ballot papers. Next, you can see election posters and promotional materials used during former presidential elections. Here, you can experience an election for yourself. shall we make our own poster for the presidential election? Here, you can deliver your inaugural speech after being elected as president.
기쁨이 극하면 웃음으로 변하여 눈물이 된다는 것을 그래서 보고 말을 들었던 것입니다.
After you are elected as president through election, you need to take over the presidency. Let's follow the procedure along with records. The Presidential Transition Committee is formed to help the presidential-elect to smoothly take over the presidency and to minimize administrative vacancy during the administration change. Let's go to the presidential gallery. This is the only place in the exhibition hall where you can enjoy the beautiful view of the lake park of Sejeon City. With the view of the lake park, this space was named as the Presidential Gallery. The gallery displays former presidents' writing and signature on the visitor's book. Let's go down to the third floor. The third floor is for presidential experience. As exhibits, history of the Blue House, the presidential office, and main buildings are introduced. You can experience passion of the presidents through their daily work schedule. How is the president's daily life like? What is the inside of the Blue House like? Let's look at the past and the present of the Blue House through photos. The Blue House consists of the main building and X-buildings, front garden, back garden, and pond. In the main building, there are the presidential office, meeting rooms, and reception rooms. And X-buildings include presidential residence, security service, office of the secretariat, and a guest house. Let's imagine a day of the president. A day of the president will start with leaving for work residence, general duties presidential office, press conference Chun Chu Guan, meeting with foreign guests Sang Chun Jae, official events Yongbing Guan, and leaving from office residence. As such, the president works in different space according to the type of work. At the Presidential Exhibition Hall, you can experience the reception room for foreign guests, the presidential office, and Chun Chu Guang for press conference. This is Chun Chu Guan that acts as the press center of the Blue House. Here, you can see the role and function of Yongbing Guan in a video. This is an official venue for welcoming events and banquets when the presidents or prime ministers from foreign nations pay a visit. Now, let's look at the display of furniture used at the Blue House. This is the Blue House furniture corner. The original furniture and accessory used by the president are displayed here. Let's move to the Hall of Records. Here is the Hall of Records. Portraits of former presidents and key documents produced during their tenure are on display. They are main documents produced during each president's tenure. These major documents will help you to see how the history of Korea has flowed. Let's move up to the second floor. The gifts of the presidents are on display on the second floor. Here, you can share the value and meaning of presidential records while looking at the gifts of the presidents and the souvenirs of the Blue House. This space selectively exhibits gifts the former presidents received during their tenure, from the heads of the state and key figures from around the world. What is the meaning of the gifts exchanged between the leaders? The gifts showcase excellence of national culture and resources, and also are a tool to deliver message for diplomatic negotiations, mutual trust and friendship. You can see the made pearl earrings and brooch set that President Roh Moo-hyun received from the President of Indonesia in 2003. This space displays sailing boat models. For countries along the sea, sailing boats are a symbol of national power with control over maritime trade. They also symbolize freedom and adventure. Splendid sailing boats as a presidential gift deliver the hopes to expand trade between the countries or friendship dreaming of freedom. This space displays a carriage model. Ceramics from the East and the West and teacup sets are on display. Surprisingly, presidential gifts include many dolls and animal sculptures. This space displays souvenirs from the Blue House and administrative artifacts, domestic figures presented to the presidents. It seems that the President of Korea gave many crystal products, watches, ballpoint pens, and tea sets as souvenirs. Let's go back to the first floor. So far, we toured the Presidential Archives Exhibition Hall. With the tour, we were able to learn presidential duties through records. We were also able to look into the modern and contemporary history of Korea with the presidents in it. We hope to see you again in the future through exhibitions of presidential records under different theme. Thank you for watching.